Uh, Hello. Uh, my name is John Jenkins, and I am just wanted to bring you this video. I I was thinking, about legacies, and you know, for those of you who don't know, I've never had kids. I've never, nothing has ever been built in my honor and things of that nature. You know, I don't have a foundation, anything like that. You know, I was just thinking, how do I want to be remembered? And and truthfully, how I really want to be remembered is just like everybody else. You know, I mean, I want to be remembered that people. I want people to say, he was a pretty normal guy. You know, and 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 I was gonna make this a Trump video, but the Trump news is dying down because because he's basically, I mean, he's basically gonna coast to the White House. I didn't want to say that, but I mean, he he was so I didn't want to make this a Trump video, but he was so obviously throwing the election so that Hillary would win, but it still didn't work. People people still like him better than her. But the reason why I got the idea for this video is that I was thinking, what are future generations of people gonna think that I voted for Trump or that my generation voted for Trump, and the fact that you know the fact that I support you know both Trump and Clinton, and they happen to be the front runners in their respective parties. That lets you know that at least in some ways I think very normally. You know, um, but the the uh, the question is how do I want to be remembered? I don't necessarily want to be remembered as a great person, you know, because that really, when you make that your goal, it really can come back to bite you uh, later on. There can really be a pretty huge backlash. You know, I guess you could call it, I guess you could call it the Suge Knight syndrome. It's that it's that you want to be remembered as the greatest, but and there might be some validity to that statement. Nowadays you hear a lot of people saying about all the great things that Suge Knight did and how he was the most influential. He was really the most influential man in hip hop. He was a man that Tupac looked up to. You know, to the point where Tupac kept his name out of his mouth. He never. I've listened to the whole All Eyes on Me. I've listened to majority of Tupac's songs, and I've never heard him mention Suge Knight's name. that was the type of respect that Suge Knight had uh, back in the '90s. You know, but at the same time, I mean, Suge Knight was the butt of all the jokes. You know, back in the '90s, they were saying he was broke. They were saying he was uh, uh, eating out of a garbage can, all this other stuff. Uh, they really made fun of Suge Knight a lot. So when you have that goal that you want to be great, it's okay, but you you take a risk. That's well, it's like if you're LeBron James, you gotta deal with the memes about your hairline, about the decision, uh, you know, and they tried to cut they tried to they tried to cut Michael Jordan out of the equation completely. When they started saying GOAT, I was like, when they started saying the GOAT, I thought they meant the guy who looks like a goat, which is Michael Jordan. But no, they meant Muhammad Ali. You know, and uh, but in Muhammad Ali's day, they would have been saying no, Jack Johnson was the greatest. In Muhammad Ali's day, they would say, no, Muhammad Ali sucks. Jack Johnson's the greatest. And stuff like that. If you want to be great, you can put that out there, but there's always a risk that somebody's going to clip you, and make you is that somebody's going to clown you and make you seem like you're not, as successful as you really are. And so, I mean, I don't want to be seen as somebody who is, you know, the smartest, you know, person in the world, because I'm not. I'm really, average intelligence. But I certainly don't want to be seen as the dumbest person in the world, you know. So there's definitely a balance to be struck, and but truth be told, if it's more if somebody actually looks at my life and weighs the facts, good or bad, like if you read a good book, if you read Walter Isaacson's Einstein or John Furling's The Ascent of George Washington. I mean, even if you read, the perfect example will be Marius B. Jansen. If you go into the back of that book, you will see that this guy has I mean, this guy has like 1,000 sources for his book. I mean, this guy read like 1,000 books just to write one book, you know. So if somebody actually studies my life and actually weighs the pros and cons, you know, of course, I would probably, they would probably be on the opposite ideological spectrum from me. But if somebody, weighs the pros and cons, I would be happy to let them decide based on their, expertise, based on what they based on the feedback that they get from society. So we'll see what happens. And uh, you know, I'm 31 years old right now. Uh, I mean, there's no telling where it can go from here. But I mean, I certainly started late. So, well, have a nice day. And well, the sun's still shining a little bit, but yeah, and I'll keep you posted on new video ideas for this channel. I just started another channel too, so yeah. So have a nice day. Bye.